Welcome to the first episode of Movie Meltdown. Well, today we will be reviewing All Quiet on the Western Front, Bullet Train, and Puss in Boots.
Fear me, if you dare!
Where did you come from? And where did you get the clothes? So, to start off, we're going to be doing Puss in Boots, and I have with me who? I have James.
Hello.
Hi,
Did you
James.
forget our names?
No, I did not. And Izzo. I didn't know if you would introduce yourself. And I'm Alex.
Puss in Boots was the greatest film of 2022.
I would tend to agree.
Thank you.
I agree.
It is so good.
What?
I don't care. I don't care.
You don't
The
care.
animation is phenomenal.
The animation
The
is
music
very
in it
good.
is so good, and it
Dude,
gets you
the
like
song,
pumped up.
The song is
Fearless Hero is such an entertaining.
Yeah,
Fearless Hero.
I think it's not a lie that we're all relax.
What do you want?
Just reel it in. We're all
Yes.
big fans of Puss in Boots here. I love this cat, Antonio Banderas cat,
Yeah.
and that hot wolf was really fun. No, guys.
Okay.
He was deaf.
You bring up the hot wolf every time that we talk about this
See, I'm a
movie,
wolf
and
fan.
it's
People who know me know I'm a fan of wolves. I liked it.
I'm a fan of wolves.
No, everyone knows that.
So
Anyone who knows
you're a
me
fan
knows
of
wolves.
wolves.
Sure, yeah, why not?
You were attracted to
No,
wolves.
okay.
No.
It's just an objectively hot wolf, but that's not what this movie's about. The animation
It's
is
not.
beautiful.
Yes.
Though it's interesting, a lot of people I've spoken to who had seen past Shrek movies, this is someone that this was my first Shrek movie.
In the Shrek verse.
Yeah, like this
Yeah.
was my first like entry into the Shrek verse. I guess I don't know what it's called.
SCU.
Yeah, the SCU. A lot of people were not happy with the animation because they said that it was very different from like the original Shrek movies.
Poppycock.
So
Which were the point of those were like, oh, we are different from like your traditional Pixar, and I think this was closer to that.
I don't think it
So
was
some people
so it
weren't
could be
crazy
like
about it.
different, but I do agree that the Shrek franchise does have a very specific type of
It does.
animation.
Yeah, it's, like, known for
Which is really like enjoyable and
Breaking
like
from it in this movie, though, it felt like really refreshing.
it felt really
Okay.
refreshing, but also it's a more modern style of animation.
Yeah.
Like it's very similar to Into
It
the
also
Spider-Verse.
changed a bit.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think Into the Spider-Verse did that too.
I
but
think
it changed animation. I loved
while
it.
the animation is stunning, I think that's not the best thing about this movie. I think the best thing is actually the story itself.
The story, and
It goes
especially this
way,
one scene, is
way too hard for a animated kids movie about a funky cat with a sword.
Yeah.
It's like
Yes.
they didn't need to add the level of thought and care into these characters.
And there's so
They
much
did.
thought and
There
care in
is
every
a lot
single
of care.
character. Like even like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Like
Even
their
they
entire
all
story.
have like a full-on plot.
And
It's
it
wonderful.
crushed me because it's like these are
crushed
supposed
you?
to be. It did. It did crush me.
That's fair. I
if
watched
you'd
it
like
with
to
you.
know,
You probably
yeah.
There are some very sad scenes in this movie, honestly.
That is, I will say that my favorite scene in this entire movie was the
Spoiler.
Yeah, I don't know.
Light
It was in the
spoiler.
trailer. Light spoiler is where Puss has like an actual panic attack.
Yeah.
And he has like a bit throughout the movie where like his hair will stand on end.
Yeah.
And
like an actual realistic.
the sound,
like, well
yeah, and
done.
that's the thing. It was so well done. Anyone who has like anxiety or something, or any who knows what that feels like, it was done so well, but it wasn't done in a way that like drew it. Like it was done perfectly, where it didn't feel like it was forced into it, but it
Yeah.
also didn't. It was not done like without like respect or
And the
anything. Like it was
progression,
done
like,
so well.
Where he's like getting better after it, and
Correct.
it's just like he just like puts his hand
The
on
whole
the dog,
thing.
and it's like
The sound.
It's the sound
There's
and
so
then-
much done right in this movie, and
Exactly.
so little done wrong.
absolutely.
There's
I can't
almost
think of a
nothing.
single thing.
I really can't think
like
of a single
genuinely,
thing done
I
wrong.
can't think of a single thing.
It's-
But specifically with that scene, what I really enjoyed was you could see like when it goes to Puss's perspective, because like there's the music going on in the
The
scene.
music goes on.
But when it's Puss's perspective during the panic attack, he's like, you can hear his heartbeat, and
can hear his
like when
heartbeat,
he
his
when he's
breathing.
talking, like you can hear it's muffled, and it's
Everyone
like
knows
he's
it's muffled.
slowly
Yeah.
like developing like the sound back
No,
as he's calming down, which I love.
It was
the
done
voice acting
so
Yeah.
well.
John Mulaney's the villain. I mean, everything's
Florence
just
Pugh.
yeah,
as
everything
Goldilocks,
is
yeah.
really likable. The voice acting,
Everything
the sound
was
design.
good.
It's I think it's not only one of the best animated movies of the year,
Yeah.
maybe just like
in general.
general.
Like
I
it
would
was
say in
such a
general,
good movie.
yeah, it
yeah.
was great.
the topic for this loosely is like Oscar movies or movies of 2022, and this was nominated
It
for.
was nominated.
It was for
Oscars
best.
have not happened yet, though. I
Yeah,
think.
we're not yet, but
not yet,
yeah,
but
it was-
yeah,
it
I
was
hope it
nominated.
wins.
It-
I legitimately
hope
hope
so,
it
yeah.
wins.
it's a great film. Go watch it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, please.
We need to give the rating.
Yeah, rating, but also where can they watch it? They can watch this movie right now it's no longer in theaters, but you can watch it on DVD and like buy it wherever you normally buy those types of
Rent
things.
that sucker.
Amazon.
Yeah,
It's
Amazon.
worth it.
Your like movie renting
It is
choice.
worth it.
Redbox, if you still go to Redbox, I don't know
No
if that's
way.
still a
no one
thing.
goes
way.
to Redbox.
If you do,
You're
maybe
a 40-year-old
it's
man and an
Trapped
18-year-old
in a
man
child's
body.
body.
go to
yeah.
the last Blockbuster imaginable and go watch it. But yeah, let's do our rating.
What's our new rating system?
So our new rating, we have a brand new rating system on the show now. It is everyone on the couch is gonna do thumbs up, whether thumbs up, thumbs down, or like in between. So what are we thinking? 3, 2, 1.
Gotta be 6 thumbs up,
6 out
guys.
of 6.
Fully 6.
Absolutely
Go see
greatest
this movie.
of all
Puss in
time.
Boots.
Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
All right, so our next movie is Bullet Train.
Bullet train, I love bullet train.
Okay, so clearly we have someone who enjoys Bullet
I
Train.
mean, so what are your opinions on Bullet
Can we
Train?
say
I really
our
can't
names?
tell. Yeah.
Let's just say our names.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so you're already back on the couch. Alice is back on the
I'm
couch.
Jack Jock.
Jack is back on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
On the couch. Yeah, we're doing Bullet Train. You are very excited about this movie.
Dude, this movie,
I loved it as well. But
Okay, put it on just because I was bored one night. I'm like, Brad Pitt. I'm like, love that man's.
That's
He
fair.
is one of the greatest actors to ever act.
Okay.
He might be a joke in real life. I don't know.
I was just saying, yeah.
don't care
Yeah,
in the
in general,
slightest.
when we discuss actors,
This movie.
It's so good. The cameos alone made this movie fabulous.
And listen, okay, I guess spoiler a little bit. I didn't know it was Sandra Bullock
How did
as
you
the
not
cop.
know that it was
I
Sandra Bullock?
don't know. And you have asked me this so
Yeah.
many times, and I still am telling you the same thing. I have no idea.
We had
But
watched. We had
when
watched
she comes out at the end, I was like,
We had watched the movie together with our friend group, and when Sandra Bullock was on the phone,
Oh my
I said,
God.
"Oh my god, I love Sandra Bullock," and he was like, "Dude, you're spoiling the reveal," and I'm like, "Everyone knows that it's Sandra Bullock. You know Sandra
Well,
Bullock's voice."
here's
So
the
it
thing,
helps.
I'm
I don't
watching
know
it in my
actors
house.
or actresses or anyone, so I probably
Okay.
should have known, but I don't.
Yeah. So, I mean, going into like the premise of the movie, I thought there were so many like details that made it
Yeah.
so satisfying.
So
like
many
even
visual details.
so many
Absolutely.
visual details, and like just being on the train and like all of the lights, like when it's like the
Yes.
full neon room,
It's-
like I
yeah.
love that.
I absolutely love the fact of how much like variety they were able to do
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
what is basically considered a one location shot.
Exactly.
This is pretty
yeah.
much a
That's
one
part- that's
location
part of my
movie.
favorite thing about it
Like
is it's,
at the
yeah.
end of the day, it's you're in the train and occasionally you're on the station. That's there's no spoilers.
Yeah.
And
But they
speaking of the
still
on the station,
managed
yeah.
to do it so well
The
where
only
you
location
where
changes
you
are
don't
when they talk about it.
realize.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess in flash. But
And then
still.
the end. And then the end.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
still, in general, the majority of the movies, but you don't get bored of what you're looking at.
There's
If
so much
anything-
happening, yeah.
If anything, you actually look more carefully because
Yeah.
you're like,
So I've rewatched
so
this.
many things are like intertwined that you're
Right.
like, wait, who's in this scene now? Like
Yeah.
you're looking for things, which makes it so you are still invested
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a place that's one location.
Right.
You're looking to see what has changed
Yeah.
in that location.
I'm a very basic critic of movies, and so like when I've been rewatching this movie at least 10 times, and I've like looked back at like the beginning, and then when they're in the hospital and talking about it, how the light of the sun shines on them.
Yeah.
But then it also, I am so much of like the reveal for the villain has to be big and
That's
extravagant and
true. I
amazing.
agree with that.
I didn't think that one was like too extravagant because you had already seen it so much. Like before you actually see him without his mask on.
But I
And I
felt
thought it was awesome. I thought it was so cool. I was just happy about that.
I felt that the reveal of the motive was way more
Yeah.
satisfying.
Yeah,
Because,
I would
like,
agree. It's
how
all the
every-
reveal
yeah.
of the motive as opposed
So like
to the villain.
how every single thing just like tied together, and it was
Perfectly,
like
Yeah.
perfect ribbon on
it
a
was
present.
so satisfying.
On Christmas
like, the
morning.
ending.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that
And I
Ladybug
love-
wasn't supposed to be there. and then
Lemon,
he's like,
lemon
yeah.
MVP.
Lemon. Oh my
Lemon.
god.
I can't say what he says. We'll have to
Lemon
bleep it.
is an MVP. Yeah, no,
Yes,
he's
yes.
awesome.
Yeah, and
I
I
love
felt like
everybody.
I
so
loved
many
all the
portions,
themes.
like with Tangerine, the whole part at the ending where like spoilers for the movie, but where what's the girl's name?
I don't know, but she was amazing, and
Yes,
I
she
loved
was
how
so
good she
good.
was.
But when
Yeah.
Prince.
Okay.
It was Prince, yeah. So when she got hit by the truck, and it was the tangerine truck, it was like
Yeah,
so
the fact
Yes.
that
satisfying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And like
yes.
not only that, but like Ladybug's name as a whole was so important to the plot because there's
Yeah.
like the whole thing where the elder is being like, well, the Ladybug takes in the bad luck of other people to
Yeah.
give other people
To give
like
everybody
good
else
luck.
good luck.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, that is so important to the
Well, no.
movie. And I don't know, like I loved that. I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, I think that it was a wonderful movie. Absolutely see it. Like, you just
thank
need to
God.
see it.
I,
Yeah.
thought you didn't like it and we were going to have to debate it.
No, this is one that I was all for. I had
Beautiful,
never
okay.
seen it.
Yeah.
I'm not as great with actors, so I didn't like agree with like that part. But yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
Favorite
gonna do
cameo?
favorite.
Like celebrity that was
I
in it for a
don't
couple
like. I don't
seconds?
know. Like I don't know
Really?
celebrities
Ryan
all that well.
Reynolds?
Dude.
Well, I don't know them that well, so I don't.
So I forgot about
No,
Zazie,
my favorite.
rewatching it a couple times, and then I was like, all right, Bad Bunny's best cameo, and then I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
It just keeps getting, yeah, if you like cameos,
The best one was
absolutely go
Ryan.
see this movie
Mr.
because it's great.
Deadpool.
But even if you don't know actors, you will still enjoy this movie. 100%.
Absolutely,
There's
yeah.
so many good things about this movie.
Mhm.
Everyone can come away with
Yeah.
like a different
Yeah.
favorite thing about the movie.
Yeah.
Because there were so many cultural things that they put into there so effortlessly.
Yeah, it was
Because usually for me,
well done.
sometimes it gets forced and it makes it not as good of a movie. Not all the time, but sometimes.
But
Yeah.
sometimes absolutely.
And this one, I felt like it just blended everything so good.
It did.
It's
Shall
so
we do our
good.
rating system?
Yeah,
I've already
yeah.
explained it, so we know what it is.
Thumbs, right?
Yep.
Yes.
3, 2,
Oh, you
1.
saw mine.
Hey, you already saw mine.
Lady, I'm so. Oh, that's cool.
All right, and now for our final movie, All Quiet on the Western Front, and I am here with
Doug.
and
Carlton.
all right. And what did you guys think of this movie?
I love this movie. It was super sad. It's not sad in the traditional way in that it makes you sad and it tears you up. It's sad in the way that like it grinded me down into like a apathetic stump. Like it was just sad, harsh reality of war
The
over
fact
and
that
over for 3
I
hours.
agree with you 100%, but could not have said those words
Yeah.
myself. That was so.
So this movie is based on a book, which also inspired a different movie
Yes.
like 1,000 years ago. But
1,000 years.
how relevant do you think this movie still is?
I think it's very relevant, maybe because I recently read the book in class. I don't know if that like makes it more so, but I would say any war movie is pretty much always more or less like relevant.
Right. If it's done well, I feel like war movies are just,
Correct. Yeah.
They're
No
Hollywood.
matter what. But as someone who I've read the book, I don't think you
I have
had,
not.
and you had not either.
No, I have.
Or you have, but okay.
Yeah,
so
how do you
you've
guys
read
felt
the book.
that translated?
I thought it translated great. There's certain scenes where like maybe they would seem odd to you, but to us as we had read the book, we're like, okay. Like maybe lines felt a little forced or something, but that was because those lines were there
That's what I was
in the
gonna
book.
say. The screenplay is really where you see where the book comes out. You can see
Yes,
some
like
lines,
certain lines
and
are
they
like,
hit
why is that
harder,
there?
They hit harder if
100%. One scene that says that 100% is the pit. That's my best way to describe it. Like when
the
he's-
trench.
The trench,
Trench.
yeah. But like when he's in, yeah, I can't remember the word. But when he's in like that one like circle trench, like with the French soldier,
Oh, right, yeah.
and he's there for a while. That's why I say like a pit, because it was like
Uh-huh.
a weird trench. That scene was in the book, and it was done so well. Like in the book, you're sad. When you're watching it, you're devastated.
Yeah, it was brutal. This film was shot beautifully. It
Yes.
was done really well.
The
It was. I couldn't get enough of it. The one thing I felt, yes, the music. There was this
Not by
one
Phil Collins.
3-note motif. It's not Phil Collins. The one 3-note motif, the da-na-na, that seems
Yes.
kind of like anachronistic, but like it fits with the like you could tell something's coming. It's like a devastating
It-
kind
It
of
definitely
song.
Yeah.
stood out.
Right.
It
because
stood out
didn't,
because
like,
it's not of the
flow.
time.
Right.
Yeah, it's not
But-
like you.
But it
You knew
plays
that
into that
wasn't
really
trumpets like going on in the you know.
Yes.
I didn't like it at first because of how it stood
Yeah,
out. But
at
then
first
I
I was-
started to grow to
That's
Yeah,
like it.
at first it
exactly
made
how
me
I felt.
uncomfortable, but in effect, like, why is this here?
Yeah.
Once it keeps happening and you realize that's
Something
the
else
pattern,
that comes back in the
it
movie.
builds you. It makes you be like, uh-oh.
Is the sort of beginning of warfare and the end of the
Yes.
collecting the tags.
Lines up perfect.
Yes.
I love that
Yeah.
circular.
That was
ending.
so sad. That was so sad.
Yeah,
but
and
yes.
they don't call too much attention to it. They're just like you notice it because they do it so well.
And I feel like they do that with pretty much everything in this
Right,
movie.
yeah.
So much stuff is like they do it so well that they don't have to call attention to it, but you know it's there.
The one thing I felt I was missing, which is at no fault of the film, it was the performances. Because it was done completely in German and, you know, a little bit in French. But
Yeah.
I watched it dubbed over in English, which I felt like I'm missing out on these great performances that are being
You're
delivered.
missing on like the line reading and
Right,
like, the tone
because
of what they're doing.
You're not going to get that coming through with a dubbed over language, but I felt like just the facial expressions and the body language, they did a fantastic job, particularly the main character. I'm blanking on the actor's name right now, but he did a fantastic job.
He did, yeah, no. It was super well done, and I would agree with you. It did help that I had captions on during the movie.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if that makes it worse or better. To me, it made it a little easier, like if stuff was dubbed. So if you aren't, you know, if you're not, if you want to know what they're saying more so, and sometimes you need it, you could watch it with captions. But yeah, it does take away the performance.
I'm a little slow, so I watch everything with captions.
Yeah, no, agreed.
But
I
that
wish
definitely
Life
helped
had
with this one.
captions.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I wish life had life had captions.
Yeah.
But yeah, so watch it with that. I would recommend it. But yeah,
it's a great movie. It's long, and I'm not one for long movies, but it really shows kind of the beating down of war.
It
Even
does.
though it's like middle of the movie, war is done, and there's still a lot left. And
This
it
is-
kind of
yeah.
shows the soldier's life. So I think it's definitely relevant.
This is one movie where the duration definitely helps and
yeah, the duration
actually
helps
plays
tell
into
the
it.
story.
Yeah, so it's available on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
How do we feel about this?
How do we feel about rating wise? I don't know. What are we saying? Are we ready?
Yeah, I'm giving it.
3, 2, 1. We've already done it.
I'm giving it a triple thumbs up.
Are they all?
Yeah,
so all 3 of our movies have been like 6 out of 6.
Yeah.
They're wonderful movies, so you should go
Great
watch
first
all of
episode.
them.
Top
But
movies
yeah.
of 2022.
Welcome to a very astute talk about the Oscar movies this year, or what are nominated for Best Pictures.
Yes.
With Izzo and James. Izzo, what are your credentials for reviewing
I'm
this?
a film minor, which you love to point out that I'm a minor and not major, which I think is
Does
really
not count.
disrespectful
Does not
in
count.
my opinion. But I'm a film minor and a psychology major. I wrote my college essay on one of my favorite films of all time, The Truman Show. Love that movie. What are your credentials? Not
What
that
are
anyone
my
cares.
credentials? Okay, well, I'm an award-winning short filmmaker. I've been,
Award-winning.
yeah, I've been
Award-winning.
at the Northeast Pennsylvania Film Festival. I'm a film major. I have made over a dozen films. I haven't seen a single one you made. But anyway, let's stop talking about ourselves and instead talk about these amazing Best Picture noms.
Notice how none of your short films are on here. Just a minute.
Notice how your essay about the Truman Show. Anyways,
Wow, yeah.
Okay, we're both gonna go through the Oscar noms real quick and just say which ones we think are gonna win, which ones we think are gonna lose, and which ones we hope to win.
Okay. List them out.
Thanks for the command. All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. We laughed at Tar because we didn't know a lot about Tar, and I claimed that it was about a black tar heroin dealer when we first recorded this. Anyways, we're now going to say what we think is going to win at the same time.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
The
Everything
Banshees
Everywhere
of
All at
Inisherin.
Once.
Okay.
You're literally wrong.
I'm not.
You're literally wrong.
Okay. So, Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think, is my favorite movie on this list.
So it's gonna win.
It's the most fun. It's gonna win lots of things. I don't know the main actor's name. Jamie, pull that up. But he's gonna win Best Actor, guaranteed.
I agree.
He was a goat. It made me cry. Don't tell anyone I said that.
It's literally on camera that you
Okay.
cry.
Okay. But the Banshees of Inisherin, I feel like just has more going for it. Honestly, they don't like giving it to A24 films. Just the
That's
Academy.
a fair point.
They hate independence.
Academy!
The
Academy!
They hate independence.
We hate the Academy.
We hate them. I don't even know who they are.
Me neither.
But who was the main actor?
In Banshees.
Yeah. No, in Everything Ever All at Once. You fool.
I would say Michelle Yeoh, but it's
actor, not the
the husband
actress.
is Keith.
Why do you hate women?
K-Wei Kwan.
Yeah, we'll put the name up on the screen
yeah.
right here, editing department.
Thank you, Jamie.
Top Gun, what do we think about that? Is it gonna win anything? I think it has a good chance.
I think it has a good chance of winning. I don't think it's gonna win Best Picture. That's
No.
just my opinion.
No. I mean, it had a good picture.
It did have a good picture, but I don't think it's
stuff
like
with
the
the
best.
cameras and the planes. Tom Cruise.
Oh, the plane! Yeah, that was crazy.
I'll tell you what's not gonna win. I swear to God, if Avatar: The Way of Water wins
That's
a
not
single
gonna
award,
win. That's not gonna win.
my God, it will win maybe best visual effects. Is that a category?
I
Best
think the
special
visual effects in the movie were absolutely breathtaking. I think the movie itself was boring. Like, I tried to watch it, and I just wanted to watch Puss in Boots again, because Puss in Boots is one of
Stop
the great...
talking about Puss in
You
Boots.
literally wanted to
Stop
see Puss
talking
in
about
Boots,
Puss
and then
in
you
Boots.
couldn't get into Puss in Boots, so you
Okay,
watched Avatar.
well, I still...
Don't even. Don't even look at me. Don't even.
Avatar was disappointing. The characters were lackluster, and it was basically a repeat of the first film. I originally thought that the Fabelmans might take a dub because they don't like independent films, but they do like Spielberg.
That's a fair point.
And it's about a young filmmaker, and so I feel like just they'd eat that up.
Do you, like, resonate with it?
Personally, no.
The young filmmaker?
I mean, I am
Yeah.
award-winning.
Is he successful?
He is.
Then I guess you wouldn't really resonate with it.
All Quiet on the Western Front, which we just reviewed, might
No,
take
we
a
did,
dub.
yeah.
It might take a dub.
Mhm.
It's all in German though.
Yeah, I think that definitely adds to the quality of the film, but I don't think it's gonna add to, like, winning Best Picture. You
Sure.
know?
It's beautifully shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's breathtaking, and I think it made Doug cry.
It did make Doug
I think
cry.
it did. Doug is kind of a little.
Jamie, can we bring it back to Doug crying?
Yeah, we'll play that over.
We'll replay that. Yeah. Thank you, Jamie.
Oh wow, that was so sad. I'll tell you what's definitely not gonna win: Triangle of Sadness and Women Talking. I mean,
whoa!
women-
Bold for the last
Whoa.
one. Why do you think Women Talking isn't gonna win? You don't like that? You don't like the
I'll
premise?
tell you something. It was entirely just women talking. There was no false advertising. Literally, there's a man. He was talking too.
Okay.
But there was nothing besides that. It was just talking.
Well, I mean,
it's a good film.
if
All
we're-
of these are good films, except for Avatar. But all of them are good films.
Why do you think Triangle of Sadness isn't gonna win?
It's just boring. I'm sorry, it was just boring.
It wasn't sad.
No, it was nice.
It wasn't triangular.
It was boring. And if Elvis takes any award, oh my god.
I just hate music biopics. I can't stand them. They all follow the same archetype every single time.
I don't like, who's the guy? The Austin Butler.
You don't like Austin Butler? I think we talked about this last time, but yeah. Those are the Oscar nominations for Best Picture. Thank you guys
Who do
so
you
much.
think is gonna take the dub?
Welcome, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about The Last of Us in this next segment.
Mhm.
We're on episode 5, I believe, now.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, Izzo, what was your favorite episode so far?
My favorite episode was definitely, I'm pretty sure it was episode 3. Yeah. What was yours?
Episode 3. I think it's
Yeah.
titled Bill and Frank.
Bill and Frank, yeah.
For me, that's top 5 TV episodes of all time. They somehow throw in 2 characters you don't know anything about, you've never heard about, and they convince you of a fantastic love story that leaves you heartbroken.
It was so heartbreaking,
It
but
was
I think,
terrible.
like, the thing about it is, like, knowing, because I know bits and pieces from the game, like, knowing what happens within the game and, like, the foreshadowing that whole story told, like, is so much more upsetting. And then it's also the fact that, like, Bill and Frank?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's also the fact that Bill and Frank, they did get to spend, like, their last moments together, which I thought was so, like, upsetting, but also so beautiful. Like, the part where he's like, you know, as mad at you as I am, this is honestly quite romantic. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. The whole thing is very poetic from the start to finish. Speaking about the show as a whole, I know it's not technically zombies, but I feel like it fits in the zombie genre.
I agree. Yeah.
And since The Walking Dead, I've been totally burnt out on zombie movies, zombie shows. That thing went for, like, 12 seasons? Something crazy.
Yeah.
And I've been burnt out, but this really breathes, like, some fresh air into it, and it takes a nice twist on it. Even though it's an existing license, they do a great job of adapting it.
The thing that really bothers me, though, is sometimes they make the stupidest decisions. Like, I think this was in, like, either the first episode or the second episode, but it's like, Tess had just, is it okay if I say spoilers for The Last of Us? Tess had just gotten, like, bitten or scratched, and they're in the building, and they're, like, arguing, but there are the, like, zombie creatures around.
Right, yeah.
So, like, why are you just stopping to argue? Like, that is so stupid. And then when the zombies, like, show up because Joel was like, oh, let me shoot this zombie because it's making noise. Like, that's so stupid. And then all the zombies show up, and they're like, oh no, what are we gonna do? The zombies.
Yeah, that part was a little
that was
boneheaded.
so dumb.
Yeah. Luckily, I feel like that's kind of the one moment out of that whole thing. Also, when she's got the spoilers again, she's got the lighter. It's sparking. Just put it down into the gasoline.
No, exactly.
You know? She was trying so hard to get a flame on the lighter, and she couldn't.
That scene made me so uncomfortable, though.
Yeah.
When the zombie went up to her and kissed her, I was like, ugh. It was so gross. It was so gross. But I feel like that's not the only time that they made like a really stupid decision, because did you watch the most recent episode?
I did, yeah.
If you go into a mall and like, okay, all the zombie creatures are destroyed as far as you know.
Right.
Why are you going to be like going on the carousel, making a bunch of noise, singing songs? Like, that's just the worst decision.
See, that I kind of excused because they are little kids.
They are little kids, but you're in an apocalyptic scenario, so maybe like save the music and dancing.
I think they were kind of born in the QZ, so they're not really used to like survival situations, even though they've been trained for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, great show, great score, beautifully shot.
Pedro Pascal is so hot.
Pedro Pascal's hot.
Oh my god, he's so hot.
I love that they're doing all of it seemingly on location. If they're not, I mean, obviously with the giant sets and the overrun cities, you can't. But you know, when they're out in the woods, out in the snow, it seems like they're really there.
Yeah.
And like riding the horses, it really adds to the realism factor.
And I think they definitely got the fear factor in it as well, because every time the creatures show up, I get terrified.
Yeah.
Like, I know I would never survive in a zombie apocalypse, but like with this show specifically, absolutely not. Like, and especially the clickers, like you can't make noise. I'm so loud.
And there's
I'm such a loud person.
Yeah, I'm walking around, I'm stomping. There's different rules to it, and it really adds to the horror element without it being a horror show.
Yeah.
Like it's pulls at your heartstrings.
Yeah, I love how they can do that, where it's like just as equally terrifying, but then as equally emotional. Like, you get so attached to these characters, and it's just like you don't want anything bad to happen to them. And it's like, even after the Bill and Frank, I keep blanking on their names. Even after the Bill and Frank episode, I thought that it couldn't get any like sadder.
Oh god, yeah.
And then it's the like dad and his son, and then he has to shoot. Oh my god! And then he shoots himself. I was like, no! It was so bad. Like, I got so upset even just watching it.
For the record, they didn't mention it, but I think they were brothers.
Oh, they were brothers?
Yeah, I think they were brothers, which kind of adds, like, you know, they've lost their parents already.
Yeah, so
sadder.
they really have no one left. Oh, that's so upsetting. Yeah.
Anyway, The Last of Us, trending right now. You can watch it on HBO Max. I'm giving it 2 thumbs up.
I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Yeah, all thumbs up all around. Thank you for watching. This is episode 1 of Movie Meltdown, and see you next time.